Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. It is time for another Spooktober video yet again, and for today's Reading Reddit episode, we will be diving into Am I the Asshole Post's Halloween edition. Alright, so our first story is from the user Crying Tot Swift. Am I the asshole for kicking my boyfriend's girl best friend out of my Halloween party because of her costume? We shall see. Hi everyone, I'll cut to the chase. I, 19 female, had a Halloween party over the weekend. I invited my boyfriend, 21 male, and a bunch of our friends over, including his girl best friend. I will call her Agatha. My boyfriend and I had decided to dress up as Peter Pumpkin Eater. If you haven't seen the costume, the guy wears a shirt that says Peter, and the girl dresses up as a pumpkin because, well, you know, I was pretty excited just because I thought it was a funny and cute costume. Agatha texted me the night before the party and asked what my costume was going to be. I explained the couple's costume my boyfriend and I would be wearing, and she replied that she would probably just come as a sexy cat. Fast forward to the night of the party, everyone is having fun and it's a nice time. Well, it was until Agatha walked in dressed as a pumpkin. She went over and hugged my boyfriend. I swear the room went silent. I was pissed. I asked if I could speak with her privately, and we then went into my bedroom. I asked why she chose that costume since she knew the details of the joint costume between my boyfriend and I. She said she didn't see the big deal and thought it would be a better group costume. I told her I didn't think it was funny and I would prefer that she changed. I offered her a witch costume that she could borrow for the night. She turned red and started to yell that I don't get to control what she wears. I told her that she was disrespecting my relationship by insinuating that my boyfriend and her have. She kept screaming about how it was funny and I needed to lighten up. I ended up asking her to leave. She then stormed out of the house and I returned to the party. The mood had shifted and the night felt ruined. My boyfriend agrees that she crossed the line and is planning on cutting her off completely. But a few of our friends are saying that I was being dramatic and I should have let her stay. I guess I'm just wondering, am I the asshole? Ooh. But wait, there's more. There is an update, okay? So before I comment on this, let's take a look at the update first. Well, I have an update. I meant to post one a few months ago, but I really needed time to process the events that occurred after this whole ordeal. I'm glad I waited though because you all need to hear this one. Ooh. Many people pointed out that my boyfriend must be sleeping with Agatha since she went absolutely bonkers for seemingly no reason. I thought since he immediately took my side and blocked her on everything that you were wrong. Well, it was me who was wrong. Oh my god. It turns out that Agatha and my boyfriend have been sleeping together for months, and they were just really good at hiding it until she decided that she didn't want to be his mistress anymore. Good God. I found this out when I was at his house and hanging out in his room. He was showering after a workout, and I had heard this vibrating noise. He then taken his phone and okay. Wait. Oh, okay. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. For a second there, I thought she found a vibrator, but she didn't. Okay. He had taken his phone, and mine was right next to me, so I couldn't figure out what it was that was vibrating. I opened his bedside table drawer and found a second phone. My gut told me that something wasn't right. Why would he have a second phone? It didn't take me long to guess his password. 1234. Really? And my fears were confirmed. There was a missed call from Agatha. I looked through the messages and found out the truth. Not only had they been sleeping together, She recently found out that she was pregnant. This was the reason she pulled this stunt on Halloween. She was trying to force his hand. I also saw that he was messaging other girls as well. I was completely devastated. After his shower, he found me grabbing all of my belongings and putting them in my bag. He asked why I was leaving, and I told him because we were finished. I threw his phone on the bed, and he looked like he was going to vomit. He started pleading with me to hear him out, but I didn't want to hear it. He could have all of those other girls. I didn't want him anymore. He then followed me out of the house, shaking and crying, and even followed me all the way out to my car, trying to block my path. I went over the grass around him and did not look back. What the hell is wrong with my lights? He sent me a long message about how he never wanted to hurt me, that he wanted me back, and how he was using his work phone to text all of these women so I wouldn't find out. That was really helpful. I sent his boss a nice little message about how company property was being misused, and I saw on LinkedIn that he no longer works for the company anymore. He is blocked on everything now. I hope him and Agatha have a magical life with their baby. Oh, I heard through the grapevine that he got one of the other women pregnant too. And I'm so glad I dodged that bullet. As for me, I am currently in therapy working on my trust issues and learning how to love myself again after this situation. I have been putting myself out there again and have cut contact with anyone who knew what was happening behind my back. Thank you for all the love and support. Oh my god. Oh my god. The fuck? Now, if there are men or boys watching this, I now hope that you understand why girls don't trust your girl best friends, at least not all of them, because these things do happen in real life. And my god, girls, if a man tells you, I'm sorry, I never meant to hurt you, I want you back, don't believe them because those are all lies. If you give him another chance, it's just giving him another chance to screw you over once again. And my heart goes out to you, OP. I'm sure you don't deserve this. And I'm so happy that you've decided to not look back and move on with your life. I hope therapy goes well. But to answer your question, no, you are definitely not the asshole. All right, so our next story is from Noxie. Am I the asshole for wanting to cancel my own Halloween party? Every year, I, 23 female, throw a Halloween party for a small group of friends to just come hang out and eat some food. My only requirement is that you dress up. It's Halloween, it's a costume party, and it makes sense. I don't even care what you dress up as or how lazy it is. Just come in something. Come in PJs and dress up as a bedhead. I don't care. Something simple but matches with the theme of costume party. Every year I throw this, and every year it seems to be a whole argument over people not wanting to dress up because they don't have the money, or it's lame, or they just don't want to, etc. I provide everything for these parties: food, drinks, candy, games, whatever else people may need. I don't think I'm asking for much in return to just put on a shitty costume for a literal Halloween party. This year has been the same, and our party is tomorrow, and a couple of my friends already are saying they don't want to dress up. After I sent out a text saying that if you don't want to dress up, just don't bother showing up. No biggie, but that's your choice. These friends are aggravated with me and said they guess they just won't come then. And at this point, I think moving forward, I'm just going to not hold the party and cancel it permanently. Some of my friends think I'm the asshole for saying you need to dress up for the Halloween party, and other friends think I'm right, given the type of party it is. So, am I the asshole? Update: I have canceled the party, and moving forward, I will only be spending time with those who show an interest in our friendship. This goes way deeper than just wearing a costume. I think I've been ignoring for a while how little these friends care about me or the effort I put into this friendship. So I guess I need a new group of friends who actually care about having a solid friendship. I'm quite torn. regarding this one. Hold on, let me gather my thoughts. Okay, so I don't think you're an asshole for wanting to dress up on Halloween and having this party, but I don't think your friends are assholes either, honestly, because if they don't want to dress up, why force them? I mean, yes, they could have just worn all black and wore a silly hat or a mask or sunglasses, but they don't want to, and that's fine. We shouldn't force people to do things that they don't want to. I mean, basically it seems to me that OP was trying, not really, she's not forcing her friends to dress up, but clearly that's what she wanted and her friends don't want that. It's just something that they don't agree on. Now, based on these comments, they don't think OP is the asshole either. Some people think that her friends are boring, and that's basically it. So for me, okay, so just for context, I live in the Philippines, and here we do trick or treating as kids, but Halloween really isn't a big deal for adults or even for teens, actually. I mean, there are a few places or a few people who do hold Halloween costume parties for grown-ups, but it's not really that popular. I don't think it is. Um Now in my case, I love Halloween. I love doing my makeup for Halloween. Costumes not so much because those are expensive. But yeah, I do my Halloween makeup every year. I do want to dress up. I do want to do my makeup for Halloween and go out. However, my friends are not really interested in these kinds of things. So I'm not going to force them to be interested in this or to go out with me in costume during Halloween. You know what I'm saying? I'm just basically, I like it. My friends don't. So I instead just do my makeup and upload it online. That it's as simple as that. All right, so let's move on to our third story of the day. And this is from Miller Light 585. Am I the asshole for not inviting my friends' kids to my Halloween party? My friend, 39 female, lives in another state with her two sons, ages 18 and 16. Okay, so they're not really children anymore. My boyfriend, 34 male, and me, 34 female, are hosting a Halloween party this month. We are going to have it in the parking lot of my boyfriend's business that he owns and set up a tent and dance floor outside. Because we both still live with our parents, and I live 1 hour away from the county that he and all my friends live in, although I am originally from that county as well. So nobody would want to come to a party at my house anyways because I live too far away. The party is mostly my friends. A lot of my boyfriend's friends moved away or died. We hired a bartender and got Halloween themed games, and I have another friend flying in from out of state by herself and a different friend making a 12-hour drive by himself to come to the party. We're expecting 20 to 30 people to come. The people I invited to the party are ages 25 to 39, and there are no teenagers invited. My friend asked me if the party is family friendly. I told her that it was an adult party. She tried to convince me that her teenage sons are grown enough for an adult party. I've met her kids. They're very mature for their age in terms of doing their chores and being polite, but still very obviously teenagers in mindset. They're well behaved, though very innocent and a bit naive. I told my friend I thought having teens at the party would throw the vibe off, and she seemed to be offended, saying, "Why are you calling them teens like they are 12?" And followed up with, "Why would they throw off the vibe? You think they're loud, obnoxious children?" She said her kids deserved to have fun too. I told her I thought they were too young, and she argued that they are not too young. She also said she needed a place to stay because it would cost her $600 to travel here from out of state with her sons, and she didn't have money for an Airbnb. I told her my mom would let her stay at our place but not the kids because my mom wouldn't want that many people staying at her house. She said she would respect my decision and just not go to my party. When I told my boyfriend about it, he said I should have just let the kids come to the party, but when I explained to him that I didn't want our guests to wonder who these random teenagers were or allow the presence of teenagers to affect how relaxed they were able to be, he said he understood my point of view. The kids would have previously met two other party guests, though, so I guess they would have been able to hang out with those two guys. Am I the asshole for not inviting her kids to my party? I never once went to an adult party as a teenager or any party. My first party, I was 22 and there were no teens. I've never been to a party with teenagers present, so it seems weird to me to have teenagers there. I am once again conflicted. Okay, I've decided you are not the asshole. I mean, it's your party, so they're supposed to follow your rules. And honestly, if I were the kids, if I were the teenager, I wouldn't want to go to a Halloween party with my mom either. I mean, if it was a family friendly, family oriented Halloween party, maybe. But if this was a party with just adults and we were the only ones who are teenagers, I wouldn't want to go either. I mean, it would be my personal choice not to. And if there are no parties for me to attend as a teenager, I would rather stay home than go with my mom to an adult party. And based on the comments, they don't think you are an asshole either. This commenter says it sounds like your friend is a single mom, and I'm sure that's tough, but this is definitely an adult party. On top of wanting her teen sons to come, she's also looking for free accommodation. You're helping throw this party. You don't need an extra burden of a dependent guest. Yeah, and the poster, Miller Light 585, confirmed that her friend is indeed a single mom. I haven't seen her since earlier this year when she came to visit, but I did visit her once this year also, but she comes out here more often. So yeah, I don't think you're an asshole, but I do think that you and your friend should find better ways to communicate and meet each other eye to eye. Um I do feel bad for your friend. I mean, she's a single mom and she's flying out or traveling to attend your party, and maybe she just doesn't want to leave her kids behind. But yeah, I don't think OP is the asshole here, but I don't think your friend is an asshole either. She's just being a mom. Yeah. So it's kind of sad. All right, so our next story is from Tai Tai MN. Am I the asshole for posting pictures of the teenagers who took all the Halloween candy from my porch? So, Halloween. I have a few young kids, and my wife and I can't stand around handing out candy, so we put out a big bucket full of candy on the front porch with a sign that says, "Please take one or two." I understand some kids will take a handful, no big deal, but we went through an ungodly amount of candy, so I checked the Arlo camera on my porch. Sure enough, there are three instances where some kids take 8 tons, and in one case, just dump the entire bucket in their bag. I take snapshots from the security footage, post it on my neighborhood's private Facebook page, stating that these folks were caught, and I'm posting photos to shame them. I'm getting some people commenting that I'm in the wrong to post photos and shame the kids. The plan is to leave the post up for a couple of days, long enough for the parents to identify and talk to their kids. Am I the asshole? And there is an edit. Best arguments so far. Number one, you never know what kids are going through, and they could be physically or mentally abused by their parents as a result of my post. They were having fun and making happy memories. No reason to turn that into a potentially traumatic negative memory. Not all parents dish out constructive discipline. True. Number two, kids are monitored too closely these days. They deserve the right to act up from time to time. Leave them alone. Why turn their good experience into a bad experience? You know what? I'm not going to turn my lights on anymore because I am getting annoyed. Anyway, okay, so hold on. I don't. My wig is so itchy. Now, honestly, I don't think OP is an asshole for doing this. Not really that big of an asshole. A funny one, and honestly. Now, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think you're an asshole for doing this, but you might get in trouble, especially if these are minors, because you are posting their photos without their parents' consent. So that's something to consider as well. And yes, in terms of the arguments given by the commenters, it is true because what if these kids have abusive parents, and once the parents see your post, they think of this in such a negative way wherein they would punish their children more than they have to be punished. That's my thoughts. Those are my sentiments about this. So yeah, if I were OP, I would definitely take this post down, or maybe block out or blur out the photos of these kids. I mean, for sure their parents would know what they were wearing, even though the faces would be blurred. The parents would for sure know if that's their kid on there. So yeah, OP is not an asshole, but I don't agree with what they did, especially because these are minors. Let me know if you guys think the same. All right, so our next post is from Badass Bitch 10102. Am I the asshole for not inviting my mother's husband to my Halloween party and for uninviting my mother? I, 22 female, am hosting a party for Halloween at my apartment. It will be a 4-hour party with goodie bags, drinks, non alcoholic games, and horror movies. And it's my first time doing this. Context: my mother's husband was a to me my whole life. He entered my life a little over 13 years ago, and I was 8 or 9 when I first met him. He treated me like shit from the jump. He was mentally, emotionally, physically, and verbally. He would purposely exclude me and would load my siblings with snacks when we were younger and left me out. And he did this all the time. My mother did nothing to help either. He sacrificed me for 2 years of my life and it destroyed me. I became suffered with depression and anxiety. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder at 15, OCD at 16, and PTSD at 15. My mother is still with him even though I disclosed the she saw how he treated me and I refused to let him meet my children. I have a 4-year-old stepson who I consider as my own and have an 8-month-old daughter. I wanted to go no contact with my mother, but it's not as easy as people make it out to be. And I still mourn the mother I wish I had. We had an amazing relationship and good memories before my stepmonster came. He has never met my kids and he never will. He always bitches and complains about how he was a good guy and a good father to me. He says it's unfair that I'm excluding him, and it's annoying because he always has my mother communicate for him because he's been blocked on my social media for a long time and has been cut out of my life as well. He has been cut out of my life for over a year. I moved out of my mother's house in 2022, a couple months before I got pregnant. He tried to force his way to my family events, my gender reveal, my baby shower, and everything else. My mother would then pitch a fit every time he wasn't invited to my event. Anyways, I am having a Halloween party, and it's for adults only, of course. I wouldn't want my kids around adults who sometimes use foul language. It's an adult party. I invited my mother out of kindness, and my younger sister, 20 female, is going to be there as well. We hate my mother's monster of a husband. My sister agreed to come because she knew he wasn't going to be there. A lot of my family only agreed to come because he wasn't going to be there too. Most of my mother's side of the family hate him, and he's been blocked on all of our social media accounts. My mother texted me and asked if she could bring her husband. I told her, I'm not inviting my to my party. I don't want to be around that pedo. It chaps my ass that you try to force him in my life knowing that she said, I'm not trying to ruin relationships over something that may have happened almost 10 years ago. You were mistreated to an extent, and he was sometimes verbally abusive, but so were you. It's not fair that you're excluding him when he wants to make things right with his family. I said, "Now you're uninvited since you can't respect my decision. You always do things like this, and I'm tired of it." If he truly wanted to make things right, he would have admitted to what he did to me and turned himself in. I blocked her phone number so that she couldn't keep bothering me about him coming. Am I the asshole? There's this little voice in my head that's telling me that I am. But there's also another voice telling me I'm not. What would you do in this situation? I mean, it's pretty simple. This is quite an easy decision, but no, you are not the asshole and you are definitely not in the wrong here. I mean, exactly why would you invite your party? And honestly, if I were you, I would try my best to go no contact with my mother as well. As long as she supports your she knew what happened and yet she still supports him, and honestly, you don't need anyone that toxic in your life. And the way that she's supporting him and being his apologist almost, it's so disrespectful and dismissive of the experiences that you've had because of him. So honestly, OP, I hope you think about this very well. And I hope that you find a way to go no contact with your mom after this. And our last story of the day is from Cybergirl 2009. It's quite a short one. Am I the asshole for not letting my son dress up as a princess for Halloween? I, female 24, live with my son, 8 years old. He's always acted feminine all his life, but I didn't think much of it because I just thought every kid was like that. But when he could talk, he told me that he wanted to play with dolls and play houses. I got it for him to make him happy because I didn't want him to grow up hating me because I don't support him for being different. This Halloween, he said he wanted to be a princess. I would have let him, but we live in a bad neighborhood. We are almost the only white people, so we would stand out too. If anyone saw him in a dress, they might do something or attack us because the neighborhood wouldn't approve. I've already gotten threats for being white, and this would be the last straw. I would go to a different neighborhood, but there are not many white neighborhoods around us or near us. I wish my son could express himself, but I don't want him getting hurt. Am I the a hole? And again, another simple answer. No, OP, I don't think you're an asshole, but I do think that you are a great mom. Thank you so much for being supportive, for supporting your son and buying him Barbies, dolls, and just showing him that you love him and you accept him. Um, this is quite a tricky situation because he is only 8 years old, but I do think that if you talk to him properly, you would be able to make him understand why you wouldn't let him wear a princess costume. I mean, maybe I think, and this is just my opinion, maybe you could get a princess costume and let him wear it around the house, but tell him that when he goes outside, he needs to wear something different. I mean, I do understand that you are just trying to protect your son, and I commend you for that, OP. No, you are definitely not the asshole. You are a great mother, and I hope that you would be able to move to a safer and more open neighborhood in the future. And let's just read some of the comments here. Okay, there are a few suggestions as well. Maybe you could do a wizard type thing where it could be interpreted either way, witch/wizard, but maybe not a princess at this moment in time. Hope you find a happy in between for him. You are not the asshole because you are only protecting him and yourself. Just make sure you explain it to him so he understands. And yeah, just explain it to your son in the simplest way possible. Tell him that while you do support him, while you do want to make his dreams of being a princess come true, it is not possible at the moment. Or again, like I mentioned earlier, get him a princess costume and just let him wear it around the house and maybe take photos of him. But yeah, definitely not the asshole. And that's all of our stories or posts for today. I will see you guys on my next Spooktober video. Thank you so much for watching, and I already said this, but see you on my next video.